idle. That makes a lot of sense. He likes that pick. No reason not to pick that early on here. And they just have another couple seconds before we'll see the next pick, and it will be Pantheon coming in for Giants as their second pick of their game.
So, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. They're going to go with exactly what they had in the last game. We saw Frederick had a lot of early game pressure, even though Pantheon had those nerfs of clearing the jungle, has to use a little bit more mana in his jungle if he wants the passive to proc quite so often, but didn't seem to affect them, and really just worked out very well for Giants. I wonder whether the reason they're going to opt for that Graves Alistair bottom lane again, and whether we'll see the jungle Lulu again. We know Zayu's got more in his playbook, though. Yeah,
indeed. And now you're backed up against the wall. They have to win this game. Well, they don't necessarily have to win this game, but if they don't, they have to win free on the bounce. So now is the time really to pull something out and make sure you can even up the series. So we'll see if they bring out something a little bit different. And if you have to feel that is the case, maybe they won't bring it as a flex pick, they'll bring it in as one of their final picks. But what we know for certain is they are looking towards their bottom lane here, and they will lock in the Graves, and indeed, they will lock in the Janna.
Zayu's Lee Sin is available again this game, so that wouldn't be a surprise to me. We may see him pick up one of his other more obscure champions. We know he's been playing Kayle just like Kikis did. Graves and Janna right now is fairly difficult to deal with. When that shield's on Graves, he's going to have a lot of burst potential down in that bottom lane, and we saw Celeber get a lead, and Crepo and Deficio were talking about how greedy Giants played in that bottom lane last game. We'll see if Reason can punish them a little bit more. It's a little more difficult now. They don't have that ease of getting to Krugs. They have to go all the way up to Gromp on that red side. So we'll see whether they can shut down a little bit of that greed from Giants. But Pepinero right now has options for his mid lane. Will we see him default to the Twisted Fate that we've seen time and time again? It would work with the Pantheon that we already have locked in here. Will they go for the Jinx again and then potentially set up a Jax? There's a lot still on the table that Giants have played, or we know they do play, that is still around for this game.
Oh, here we go again. Once again with the Jax pick, once again with the Jinx pick, and as you said, if it isn't broke, why not just play it again in this following game?
Yep.
And you have to feel like in that last game, it was all about just finding that spark, that catalyst in the early game, and it was just all systems go from there. But up to that point, Reason Gaming were containing them pretty well.
They were, but the problem that Reason had was they were making too many mistakes and allowing this composition, which is going to push a tower exceptionally fast, to just kind of sit in front of towers. And you saw Jax always go to that other lane, make sure that if they were giving away a dragon, they were getting turrets for it. I want to see what's available for mid lane here for Pepinero on the side of Giants. He's obviously waiting for the counter pick here. We know Take Fun likes Ahri and Elise out of the jungle. Has been seen. It has good catch potential. On this current patch, it is still fairly strong, and there's a different pick.
Okay, so we just talked about the Elise. This is the second most played champion in solo queue, of his first, of course, being that Lee Sin. But as you mentioned, here comes Azir now from Giants, and this is a big curveball because we know he plays Syndra, we know he plays Xerath, we know, in fact, he plays Twisted Fate. But here comes Azir.
Yeah, and I was doing research on Pepinero, and I had him down as one of the players that was going to pick Azir in this tournament. We'll take a look at the lane matchup as we head into the game, but Giants have a fair amount of AoE damage and range during a lot of their 4v4.
And if we need it, you can see Whirly in the top lane, Frederick in the jungle, Pepinero in the middle lane, Adri and Rydell in the bottom lane duo.
Over on Reason this time, Kubon in the top lane, Zayu in the jungle, Take Fun as a mid laner, Celeber and Libic as AD carry and support.
So, once again, make sure to join us on social media using the hashtag LCS expansion.
And we want to hear your thoughts on who you think is going to take this series, because we sit. So what is going to be the difference maker from the Emperor of the Sands?
Well, take a look at this. Counter-strike from the top side. That forces a flash from Take Fun, so that will be majorly benefiting Pepin. But Whirly B again is going for this camp, and Kubon, who said, you did it last game, this time I'm going to try and contest it. Whirly B taking a bunch of damage from Kubon, and we'll just be heading back to base. Not sure if he has the kill pressure, though. Doesn't have the Ignite, of course. We'll just push him out of